Okay then, last category. And who could better chair this category than our Sindre Log, directly from Norway. Please come on the stage. And previous chairman of the ITA Young Member. So I leave you the stage, Log. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Just flew in from Norway this morning, so I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. So if my English is not perfect, my apologies. I started attending the World Tunneling Congress in Helsinki 2011. At that time, I was newly graduated from the University of Trondheim. I came there with my employer at the time. I didn't know anyone. And to be quite frank, I didn't feel too welcome either, because it seemed for me like I was the only young guy around. I met some buddies there. We talked a bit. And then after a couple of years, 2014, in Iguazu, the ITA Young Members was established. The first active gathering was in Dubrovnik, 2015. And after that, the ITA Young Members have gathered and established a network. So every time you go there, you meet the young, we're not young anymore, but you meet young people. And we have established a network and a culture to know each other, to share competences. So I think just for the ITA Young Members' 10-year anniversary deserves some sort of applause. So please join me. Cross-border competence sharing in the early stages of the career is essential to the ITA strategies to provide solutions for underground solutions for a better world. In a world where everything gets more and more polarized, I was trying to stay young and wanted to quote Jay-Z. Everybody knows who Jay-Z is, right? Come on, say yeah, woo! And it's from the song Artist, where he says, "Let them build fences, we're digging tunnels." So, on behalf of Exco, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce the category and the tunnelers of the future, the category Young Tunneler of the Year. Let me welcome the three candidates to stage: Adriano Mostacchia, Hanan Samadi, and Luigi De Angelo. So then understand there's so we start off with the videos. Hanan Samadi is not here. She still have sent in a video, but there was a visa issue. She's not here, but we still have a video. Okay.
Dear colleagues, dear judges, thank you for inviting me to the ITA Awards. As requested, I wanted to make a little video introduction about myself. I am Adriano Martoccia. I am a structural and geotechnical civil engineer. And I started working in tunnel industries almost 8 years ago with Gella, straight after my studies. I started working in the technical department of Gella for a couple of years, where I was responsible for the technical preparation of several bids, which we prepared for several projects all around the world. After the first period in the Rome head office and several relocations around the world to follow the projects, I've been assigned to the Hanoi Metro project, where we had two APB TBMs to excavate 60 kilometers of tunnels. And there I started as a tunnel engineer, and after 1 year I was promoted as tunnel production manager. After that, I moved I came back to Italy to work for the Napoli-Bari high-speed railway. And there we had 9 conventional tunnels, and I was responsible for 4 of them. And now I've been relocated to Trento bypass, also an high-speed railway project where I am senior project engineer, is where I am now. And here we have 4 dual-mode DPB TBMs to excavate 10 kilometers of twin tunnels. And here I work as a senior project engineer, and I'm responsible for the coordination between the project management and the construction management. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very impressive. We'll move forward to Hanan Samadi from Iran with a video as well. Yeah.
Dear committee members of ITA, ladies and gentlemen, please accept my deepest greeting. I am very pleased that I have been selected as a finalist. My name is Hanan Samadi from Iran, and it is my honor to present to you my background, work and academic experience, current mission, and my future inspiration in the field of tunneling and mechanized excavation, which I am going to apply the ITA Award 2024 Young Tunneler of the Year category hosted by ITA in Italy. I am delighted to be having this presentation today.
Let me please introduce myself. My name is Hanan, and I graduated with a master's degree in engineering geology, specializing in tunneling and mechanized excavation. Currently, I am working as a tunnel engineer and researcher. During my undergraduate studies, I work as an intern in one of the best mining companies in Iran, which has surface mining projects. Despite my young age, the traditional environment and my limited experience at that time didn't discourage me from my academic and career path. Instead, I became increasingly eager to learn more every day. By participating in meetings and daily site visits, I proposed innovative ideas to other challenges and solve problems, most of which proved to be the effective solutions. I obtained a bachelor degree in geology, but I attended multiple courses on underground spaces and tunnel construction. Subsequently, I had numerous site visits to tunneling projects, and these experiences gradually increased my interest in tunnel construction and the connection between underground space projects and geological investigation. In my undergraduate studies, I gained experience in TBM, in tunnel engineering using the drill and blast and NATM methods. So I decided to focus on mechanized excavation in my master program, which resulted in the introduction of a new model and the use of the latest technologies in the field of tunnel engineering. Through innovation, creative ideas, and the introduction of efficient methods in my master's thesis, I was able to achieve the perfect score and ultimately be selected for the best thesis award. During my master's studies, in addition to my thesis, I worked on multiple projects in the field of tunneling, rock mechanics, and geotechnics under the supervision of Dr. Jafar Hassanpour and Dr. Jamal Rostami, resulted in the publication of more than 15 articles in journals. In these articles, efforts have been made to introduce models with higher accuracy for predicting machine performance in harder condition and soft soil environment using up-to-date algorithms. In addition to journal articles, we have published over 20 articles in conferences such as WTC, ARMA, TBMDX, and other well-known conferences under the supervision of my professors. In addition to the published articles during my master studies so far, I have also conducted several research projects in the field of tunnel construction for consulting companies and universities. In these research projects, efforts have been made to address the challenges with innovative insights, intelligent solutions, and up-to-date designs so that the project can be carried out with higher efficiency. As a work experience in an academic environment, in addition to the teaching assistant experience that I had during my undergraduate studies, I also worked as a research assistant in two top-ranked universities in Iran during my master's degree, focusing on various aspects of mechanized excavation and tunneling. Working in an academic environment gave me the opportunity to not only enhance my theoretical knowledge but also suggest creative methods for problem solving and develop useful tools for creative ideas for engineers in this field by combining various sciences such as geology, tunneling, rock mechanics, and computer science, and also computer engineering. After conducting my master's degree, I am currently working as a researcher at various universities in Iran, UAE, Kurdistan region, and Kazakhstan. Civil and mining engineers in a country like Kazakhstan are concerned about the complex geological conditions, which may lead to issues such as settlement and various geological hazards in the construction of underground spaces. After holding multiple brainstorming sessions, I have guided their minds towards utilizing underground spaces, which they may use in the near future, hopefully. I admire that presenting such ideas in an environment lacking knowledge of tunneling is a difficult task and faces a lot of negative feedback. However, by introducing new ideas and presenting scientific documents, I have managed to convince engineers to accept the existing challenges and think of solutions rather than rejecting the idea. One of my work experience was in the Southern Extension project of Tehran Metro Line 6. In this project, I observed various geological hazards, machine performance, and the operation of the segment factory and other requirements of mechanized tunneling projects. This period made me develop a strong interest in the mechanics of tunnel boring machine, to the extent that I visited the tunnel daily and every time. After completing my full-time internship and approaching graduation time, I began working as a tunnel engineer and specialized in tunneling and geotechnical companies, both within Iran and abroad. Currently, I am working as an R&D specialist in one of the best tunneling companies in Iran, as well as in a geotechnical company in India remotely, and also working at the Rock Mechanics Laboratory at Nazarbayev University. Additionally, in collaboration with tunneling experts in Iran, we have established a research center for underground space studies, of which I am proud to be a founding member and researcher alongside esteemed professors. I strive to establish practical connection between computer science and tunneling, resulted in the development of software, the utilization of Internet of Things 5G networks, and the application of artificial intelligence in mechanized excavation. The result of these works have been documented for enthusiasts in this field. I endeavor to share the knowledge I acquired with students and engineers by holding numerous courses in the areas of AI and tunneling. Currently, I am focused on developing and designing new AI algorithms for use in the tunneling industry that have not yet been developed and are innovative. After the publication of articles in various journals, I have served as a reviewer in several journals and conferences, reviewing articles in the field of tunneling and mechanized excavation. I have endeavored to assist authors in improving the accuracy and advancement of their articles by providing comments and key points. After graduation, I have been invited as a keynote speaker, TCP member, and reviewer by several international conferences in the field of tunneling, smart construction, and civil engineering in countries such as England, Japan, China, etc. As you may be aware, smart construction is being pursued in civil engineering on the ground level in some countries today, but there is a lack of written information, even theoretically, for smart construction in underground spaces, and it is necessary for researchers and professors to conduct extensive research in this area. I have endeavored in these conferences to engage the audience in this field so that through collaboration with other researchers on an international level, we can advance this science not only in theory but also in industry. Throughout my student years and after graduation, I took on voluntary responsibilities in both university and industry. In all the tasks that I undertook, I always tried to complete my duties in a thorough and accurate manner and document the result for enthusiasts in the field of tunneling. Due to my round-the-clock efforts and the impact I have had in the field of tunnel construction, construction, I have received numerous awards from several committees and organizations. I was recently selected as a top researcher. Additionally, I have received multiple grants from various universities to conduct research on tunneling and mechanized excavation projects. I have also received several scholarships in mining engineering startups for inventing softwares and presenting innovative solutions. My team and I have always strived to identify and introduce the challenges in the field of tunnel construction with modern and diverse inventions, and then present useful solutions to address these challenges. I attribute this success to the round-the-clock efforts of my team members and mentors with whom we have achieved such accomplishments through collaboration.
The challenges ahead in the academic and industrial environment of tunnel construction are not limited to me, and I am always interested in facing these challenges because they not only enhance my knowledge through further research, but also enable me to introduce diverse and innovative ideas for addressing problems with creative solutions. The challenges in the field of tunnel construction are one of my interests, and this in turn increased my enthusiasm to be more eager to work in the tunnel construction industry every day more than yesterday. I believe that without challenges, there will be no progress, and without existing challenges, scientific development will not exist. Throughout my studies at university and post-academic career, I have faced various challenges in both industry and academia, but I have endeavored to provide solutions to confront those challenges. I have documented all experience in the form of articles and reports to make them available to interested individuals. However, my main challenges in this field has been social in nature. As a female engineer who has tried to serve in this field, I have faced certain limitations. But I am not someone who gives up easily, so every day I come back to this industry stronger and more enthusiastic than the day before. The tunneling industry, like all other sciences, should be accessible to those who are interested and anyone, regardless of gender. I hope that the pioneers of tunneling can erase traditional and superficial attitudes from the minds so that other educated women who are interested in working in this field, like myself, don't face social limitation and can serve in tunneling industry. I have a memory of sometimes engineers not allowing me, as a female engineer, to enter the tunnel, and I would wait for them to be occupied and sneak into the cement factory and inside the tunnel to learn about the work details and even learn welding. Of course, when they realized I wasn't from the office, they would search for me, but by then I have already left to see TBM. At the end, I must say that TBM and mechanized excavation are not just my profession and research field. They are my life. It is the field that I love and dedicate my life to serving. Finally, I would like to thank the Committee of Judges for the ITA Award 2024 and express my gratitude for this amazing opportunity to present my background, research, academic, and motivation with you.
So, Luigi. Yeah, you can.
You can keep this.
Good. Luigi D'Angelo.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Luigi D'Angelo, and I'm an Italian tunnel engineer with 10 years of international experience. I work as project engineer at Italfer, the engineering company of the Italian State Railways Group. And I'm currently based in Naples, where I work on the Naples-Bari high-speed railway project. I'm a chartered engineer in Italy, and I'm also committed pro bono for our industry as chair of the Italian Tunneling Society Young Members. In this video, I'm going to show you my personal journey and main achievements. So my journey started 11 years ago at the University of Naples during my master's degree in structural and geotechnical engineering. I'm originally from Mercolano, a town at the foot of the Vesuvius volcano. This is my father. He's a civil engineer, and he was the head of the engineering department of the local municipality. So he was used to very small local projects. When I showed him the list of modules I selected for my master, he asked me, why on earth did you choose a module on tunnels? When in your lifetime would you ever design a tunnel? But I didn't care, and I was one of the very few students attending this newly established course from Professor Bilotta. 1 year later, I was in Arup, London, working as tunnel engineer in one of the best engineering companies on some first-class projects. So my choice was not that bad after all. However, this didn't happen by itself. Professor Bilotta asked me to write my master thesis on tunneling, and I accepted on the condition I could have an industry internship. I noticed there were some EU funds that could be used as scholarships, so we contacted companies, including Arup, and arranged EU contract agreements. I think this story is worth to be mentioned not only as the beginning of my career, but also as, after my first pilot experience, so many other Neapolitan undergraduates went for similar internships in tunneling companies all over Europe. To date, 47 young tunnelers have benefited from this opportunity after me, with many of them then met on projects around the world. Of course, I couldn't imagine this at that time, but I think it is a great example of how far a small initiative can lead. During my internship at Arup, I wrote my master thesis on the Hong Kong shut-in to Central Metro project, including numerical analysis and comparison with monitoring data. The line opened in 2020, and I was emotional in April this year when, 10 years later, I went to China for the WTC 2024 as an Italian Young Members representative, and had a ride in that piece of metro I worked at on my first work day. At the end of the internship, I was permanently hired by Arup. As a first work experience, I couldn't have asked for anything better. As a young tunnel engineer there, I had the opportunity to improve my technical skills, working on some world-class projects. For example, HS2, the high-speed railway between London and Birmingham, where I optimized the line intender design for a contractor joint venture who eventually won the bid of 2 sections, which are now under construction. The Northern Line extension on London Metro, where I verified the detailed design of retaining structures, which were also the foundations of the new building developments on surface to regenerate the Battersea Power Station industrial disused area. And Thames Tideway, the new mega sewer to clean up the River Thames, where I was independent checker for the detailed design of tunneling works, and which I was happy to see as a finalist here today in the category Major Project of the Year. In 2016, I became a young member of both the Italian and the British tunneling societies, where I had the chance to start networking with fellow young tunnelers and to be involved pro bono in many activities of the associations. When I was a student, since about 2010, this was my computer wallpaper. I'll never forget the emotion I felt the first time I entered 1 Great George Street in Westminster, with the names of Newton, Watt, and all those who made history of engineering. As a former tennis player, it is only comparable to the emotion I felt when I first entered Wimbledon. As a spectator, of course, not as a tennis player. In 2017, I moved to Rome, working at Italfer as project engineer, a technical coordination role on the whole railway multidisciplinary project, integrating tunneling with all the other disciplines, such as MEP, underground safety, archaeology, spoil management, etc. This gave me an even broader overview on the whole tunneling industry as I started looking at the full picture. I firmly believe a holistic approach is fundamental, as very often the proper management of all the other disciplines and their interfaces is essential for the success of the project. In that period, I was appointed as design manager for the tender office bidding on projects in Southeast Asia, namely in Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia. That was an experience that I appreciated a lot, but not easy at all. I had a back office in Rome supporting me on the technical aspects, but I was the only one directly interfacing with the clients, who were often represented by much more senior engineers from different countries and backgrounds. So with this role, I had the opportunity to improve, to develop my leadership and negotiation skills, as well as the ability to interface with different cultures. In 2020, I was appointed project engineer of 2 sections of the Napoli-Bari high-speed railway project, hence being responsible for all the engineering on behalf of the client throughout all the phases, from the design to the construction. It includes the 10-kilometer twin-bore Orsara tunnel and the 27-kilometer twin-bore Irpinia tunnel, the longest one in Italy, which together make them one of the largest underground projects in the country, with 6 TBMs and more than 80 kilometers of tunneling works with presence of gas. Such an important project that one day I was scrolling the newspaper online, and with my surprise, I found myself on the picture without really expecting it. One of the greatest challenges of this project was the coordination of a design change, replacing conventional tunneling with TBMs in a 7-kilometer section of the Irpinia tunnel through very poor clay at great depth with high convergences, a challenge never tried before in Italy. This pushed the contractor and the TBM manufacturer to design and build the special TBMs equipped with features preventing the machine to get trapped in the soil, hence promoting a significant innovation in the field. This solution allowed to scrap 3 construction adits and their portal sites, hence reducing the impact on the environment as well as the cost for the client. For the Italian Tunneling Society, in 2020, I was co-creator of the new SIG website and creator of the new Italian Art of Tunneling section with the storytelling of the most challenging projects in Italy. In 2021, I joined the steering board of the Young Members Group, and since 2022, I'm chair and delegate for international activities, including the organization of events, representing the Young Members Groups at WTCs, and arranging webinars to promote exchange of experiences in Italy and abroad. For my future professional development, I proposed to my directors at Italfer to gradually move toward their new role in the next few years, providing support and coordination to project engineers of underground projects around Italy, which currently involve hundreds of kilometers of new tunnels with more than 70 TBMs. I think this would be beneficial for the whole Italian industry, as it might increase standardization of choices and processes and practices to improve and simplify the whole productive chain, involving not only Italfer, but also the clients, the contractor, and all the stakeholders. So I have a dream, and this dream is seeing all these tunneling works completed within the next decade, hopefully with myself there providing my contribution, possibly taking advantage of the experience as tunnel engineer in the UK, with the multidisciplinary coordination in Italy, the soft skills acquired in Asia, and the knowledge of the sector gained within the SIG and the ITA. In any case, I'm so happy to be with you here today as finalists in Genoa and to belong to this world tunneling community, that I can already say that entering the underground was a really successful choice. Thank you.
I have been attending the ITA Awards for a couple of years, and I have to say that the level of these young engineers just keeps going up every year. Very, very impressive by all 3 of them. So we move into the roundtable discussion. Since we're only the 3 of us, I asked a friend to join. So I have a friend coming up on stage, Mr. Professor Arnold Dix. So first of all, I need some help. I was attending a birthday party. It was my nephew. He was 16 years old. This was in September this year. And then he asked me, Sindre, you're a tunneler. You travel around the world doing tunneling as a tunneling engineer. Do you think I should become a tunnel engineer? What do you think I should do? This guy is good in math, he's good in physics, but that kind of hit me a bit. What should you really do? So I wonder, what do you think you should do?
Well, of course, I think it is a great moment for our industry. And of course, this is a moment when it would definitely be a great choice. But I think we should not settle on this. As a society, we should keep improving and being more attractive for university students as an industry to create a better working environment for them, to include them in the innovation process, and yeah, to let them make our industry their first choice.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with what Luigi says. But I think we should push the boundary there a little bit more. I think we should attract younger fellows in a earlier stage, because I feel like that somehow maybe in the university maybe it could be too late. We need those kids to dream about being a tunneler or a construction engineer. And to do that, I think that we have to widen up a little bit our, why not, marketing strategies, our communication skills, and get a little bit into their words, like, I don't know, social medias, and all those things that may attract them from an earlier stage so that they can actually think about themselves as a construction guy, just like we did for some reason. In the case of Luigi, it was for their dad, and in my case, it was for my dad as well. But not everybody have the same point of view, I think. So I think it is important for us to try to widen the field.
That's a super valid point. You know, the Swedish, they've already developed a children's book about tunneling that they hand out. And 30 years ago in Norway, we had a children's show about two guys that lived in a tunnel. So that's why everybody goes into tunneling in Norway. Mr. Dix.
Yeah, I think that we're living at a time, in an era, where we need to appeal to the emotions of the young as to why they would come and do what we do. And the emotional attraction of what we do is that we really are the face of a better and more equitable and more fantastic world where there are so many negative dialogues. So actually saying to children, join us and we can give people clean water. Join us and we can give the gift of health. Join us and we can make the lives of billions of people better. And that really resonates with the young, because most of the messages they receive now are just so grim and black. And what I've loved about the young members, what I've seen, is that also political barriers are much easier broken down when you're young enough not to have adopted the very negative narratives. So I'm big on the emotional, like what you were saying, an emotional attachment, and then the intellectual will come. That's my sense of it. And certainly that's, for anybody who sees some of the emotional things that I put on social media, the reaction from the young people reaching out to me is just enormous. And we can worry about the equations later.
But you're saying, let them build their fences. We're digging tunnels. Yeah. Very good answers. I just told him to become an astronaut. Underground solutions for a better world. And that's the phrase within the ITA strategy. It is further described as how underground solutions should contribute to solve the world's current and future challenges. How do you see the underground industry contribute to solve these challenges? Adriano.
How do you see the undergrad industry? Could you repeat the last part of the question, please?
How do you see the underground industry contribute to solve the world's today's and tomorrow's challenges?
What can I say? Today we've seen lots of great projects, of great achievements we've done as an industry in the world. I always imagine myself when we go in a place and in a certain place and we realize a big infrastructure or infrastructure in general, and we transform that place completely, and in a few years we will bring small changes in the life of each individuals, which will be, I don't know, shorten their commute by a few minutes, or bring them a new sewage system or water or whatever it is. And of course it has a big impact in everyday life of all those peoples, and probably nobody will ever thanks us for that, but we'll still be proud of it, right? And so yeah, I think that's what makes all of us proud of it, and that's definitely the best part of our job.
Yeah, in the past and in the present, we had to face the transportation need challenge in our cities and between cities. So we were mainly focusing on roads and railways and metros. But now we're seeing how the same concepts and technologies can be used in other sectors. In this period of climate change, severe storm events, we are seeing even among the finalist projects always more and more water management projects. And again, in a future perspective, today we saw another example of reuse of the underground for a cemetery, or there are many projects for data centers or waste management. So I think eventually maybe the application can change, but there will always be a future for the underground as far as the land on surface becomes more and more scarce as a resource.
That's a good answer. And I think part of what we're saying as well is what I heard Arnold talk about when we were in Indonesia as well, that the engineer is looking at problems and finding solutions. Creativity is extremely important within engineering. We have to make sure we don't fall into the traps of becoming standardized engineers. Creativity. You're not going to talk to this because you've been talking so much about it. Is that okay for you? Good. I was thinking about something on the way down here. And I was thinking, how does the future of tunneling look like? How are we doing tunneling? And then I started looking at different years. What should I ask about? Should I say 2100? And then what hit me was that I started thinking, okay, if a tunneling engineer was looking in year 2000 about how tunneling looks like in 2025, I think that person would be a bit disappointed. So that leads to this next question. How do you see, and which technologies do you see come into play for tunneling in 2050 with all these technological leaps that are coming as artificial intelligence and batteries and energies and so on? Have any comments on that? Any visions?
I think any sort of technology that will enhance automation and reduce the need for workers and manpower there. First, because it is becoming more and more difficult to find workers skilled in our sector, and there is a shortage of them. And second, because I think we should aim to avoid repetitive and alienating tasks for people, leaving them to machines, so as people can be fully committed on the creative and on the mindful part of the work.
Yeah, also with that I agree with my colleague. In my opinion, something that will be a game-changing technology. Today we've had a lot of insights about AI, which of course will be a game changer in our industry, like all industries. But one thing I didn't hear about today was about robotics, which I think will be really a game changer, especially in our industry. I mean, let's think about how long do you think a robot will need to wait in the decompression chamber after an hyperbaric intervention, for example? No, 0. Or what's the risk of, fatal injuries of a robot working at 8? 0. So I think that in the next few years, we will need to bring those technologies inside our industry, because there are so many advantages in using them.
I'm quite impressed. Their answers are just really, really good. Arnold, can you be as good?
Of course I can't. I'm an old dinosaur. The change I'm looking for, and I don't know when it's going to come, is in the energy supply. I think the limiting factor at the moment is the energy source. I think our computing power has increased, our big data management, our analytics, they're emerging, and that's going to give us very powerful tools. But our constraint is power. And so if the long-awaited transformation in fusion was to occur, and that was to give us really high energy power, we would then be able to transform the way we mine. We'd be able to go to the surface with our robots and have basically a much less limited power supply. And that would be revolutionary. The risks wouldn't be there for our people. Our robots could take them. And as to the time frame, I'm hoping I'm going to be alive to see it, but I doubt it because I'm feeling a bit unwell today. So, but I see that, and you see it on site. That it's the power supplies now that are really holding us back.
Thank you. No, good. Oh, more.
But we should never stop planting trees, even though we know we're not going to get the fruits.
So that leads, since we're running out of time, I had plenty of more questions, but I have one more question, and it's a competition. We have Jamal Rostami sitting in the audience in Colorado Schools of Mines. They've been doing quite a lot of work on mining and TBMs on the moon. And that's my last question, and I'm going to write down the answers, and it's one number. When will we see the first TBM on the moon?
2077.
Your number.
I'm not Elon Musk. I need to think about it. 2050 is always a good number. Everybody always says to that 2050.
Why didn't you say that on the last question? To say, well, in 2050 we'll be tunneling on the moon.
I think 10 years, it won't look like the TBMs that we see on Earth. They'll be much lighter because of the gravity situation, be more efficient, but the material on the moon is quite light, and we'll want to automate the process. So I think it's within the decade. But it won't look, it certainly won't have the mass of the ones that we've got. TBM will be a tunnel boring machine through an unconsolidated regolith, and it'll be automated, and it'll be within the decade.
Excellent. I'll put in 2040 for my guess.
Okay, we'll come back and check.
We'll come back in 10 years. So that concludes my session. Give these guys another round of applause. Thank you very much.